Hey everyone, thanks for tuning in for the next video. Today we're going to be discussing how to do Sirus Awaken level 8 in the current patch 3.10. So stay tuned and I will break down exactly how you can do the Sirus fight. As always, you can catch me at twitch.tv/sniper1232, and if you have any questions or need a little help, feel free to stop on by and we can help you out. Alright, let's go ahead and dig into the fight. I did this as a one take, so there are going to be some deaths, but it'll give you some real perspective on how the fight actually behaves. Alright, welcome everyone. Today I'm going to show you the Sirus fight. This is currently on Awakener level 8, which is the hardest setting possible for Sirus, and I'm going to try to break down the fight for you as much as possible. So, when you first come in for the first phase, you'll see that there's these dark balls floating around. These will pretty much drain your life within a half a second, so you're going to want to walk around these at all cost. To get the fight to start, you need to walk underneath Sirus while he's floating in the air. You'll see him right here. I'm going to walk underneath. Alright, so now the fight has actually started. He's going to do a couple different things. He's going to shoot the laser beam here, as well as he's going to drop a bunch of consecrated ground, these little red dots. The apparition floating in the center does one of three things. He either does these degens on the ground, or he'll call Rain of Stars down, which do a tremendous amount of damage, or he'll do this attack right here. It's a big one-shot style attack. Alright, so what we need to do now is we need to bring Sirus down to approximately a quarter of his HP. So, get your damage in while you can. Whenever you hear that die, he's going to shoot a triple blast from his beam attack. That attack does a tremendous amount of damage. It'll shock you, it'll ignite you, it'll do a bunch of damage. So you want to avoid that at all cost. So listen for the audio cues in the game for him to say die. Pay attention to the apparition floating above for his random attacks. Alright, we should be entering the next phase here real soon. Yep. Alright. You'll see this. Stay away from him. He's going to drop one of those death balls down on us. And what we need to do is wait for him to come to us so we can run underneath him. Remember, like I said, to start each phase, you need to walk underneath Sirus in order to get him to come down so you can fight him. While he's doing this, he's invulnerable, and he can still do a bunch of attacks. As you can see, he's still doing the laser beam attack. Here's Fury of the Cosmos. This is the one that I was telling you about that does a ton of damage. There's the explosions on the ground. So we walked underneath him again, which triggers the second phase of the fight. Now these death orbs will eventually dissipate out of the arena. Oh, we got one shot by the orbs, like I said. Go back in, start it all over again. Alright, anytime you die in this fight, it resets. You need to bring him back down out of his chair again. So I'll show you what I mean. So the death balls will swirl around. You find your opening. As you can see, he started his phase over again. If you were to run underneath him, you'd just instantly die again. So you just need to be patient and wait till you can get back underneath him to start the phase over again. You'll hear him start talking. That means he's doing the next phase. So now we can fight him again. Get your damage in while you can. Make sure you're paying attention to that spirit above him. This guy right above here in the center of the screen. Alright. This is the intro phase to the meteor. You'll see, I'll explain that a little later, further in the fight. But that meteor comes down and it'll pretty much one-shot most builds. Alright, so we finished that phase. We're on to the next one. It's a multiple phase fights. I kind of put myself in a bad position by standing right here. I don't have much room to maneuver around, but We got lucky with the RNG. We walk underneath him. We're starting the next phase. So this is phase 3. Every phase, it kind of gets turned up a little bit. So there he is. We get our damage in while we can. I'm not going to attack him for a little bit so you can kind of see how much more hectic the fight gets. All right. You want to go leave that as soon as you get ported into the middle of the arena by Sirus. You need to walk to where you see the sparkles on the kind of the maze. It's called the maze phase. You need to walk to the sparkles as fast as you can. Sirus also has another ability where he'll teleport you, and there'll be 2 walls around you, and he'll be throwing big, heavy hits down a channel. You need to run to him as fast as you can. There's Rain of Stars. Watch out for that. All right. We're going to go ahead and push him to the next phase now. See, I'm running towards this exit. You see those swirls right there? There's the die. Do not tank that. And we're going to push the next phase. All right, so now we're getting ready to head into the final phase. Make sure you position yourself in a nice spot where you have lots of open terrain where you can move around. As you can see that he spawns a death ball. Every time he spams something, glorious flames or something like that, the apparition is doing some damage. So there's Fury of the Cosmos. All right, now we just need to find him and walk underneath him. So he's not in a good spot right now, so we still gotta be a little patient. He's drifting towards the top left of the map. Oh, that was almost a big mistake right there. You just got to be patient. Don't rush it. You can't brick the fight right here. Just wait for the storms to move around to where you get a nice path where you can get underneath them. Sometimes it's annoying and you want to like do a leap slam or a whirling blades to get to him as fast as you can. Don't do it. You'll regret it. Kind of want to go for that, but I kind of don't. All right, here we go. Oh my god. This is what you call a mistake. All right. Like I said, every time you go in, you need to be mindful of the orbs. That was the perfect example of what you don't want to do. That's why I stress being patient. All right. Whoop, watch out for that. Okay, here he is. Fury of the Cosmos. That attack does a ton of damage. Do not take one of those. All right. There we go. We finally were able to walk under him because he was patient. This is the hardest phase. This is the final phase. This is where he unleashes all his arsenal at you. So I'll kind of explain it as we go. He's going to do is start off just throwing some beams at you. He does this. Make sure you're strafing because he's going to do a triple beam. He's untargetable while he's in that phase. Now he's going to summon quad laser beams, and you need to... They don't do a crazy ton of damage, but they will mess you up if you step in them. You can leap slam over them. You can move around them. Just pay attention to the audio dialogue of die. Alright, so here's the maze phase. This time it's 3 rings. Just get out as fast as you can. You have plenty of time. Do not panic. Like I said, during this phase, make sure you are strafing. Yet again, here's another quad beam. I'm listening for the die. There it is. Avoid the die at all cost. Right now is when you'd want to be put in DPS. There's the channel phase. That's when he does that, you need to run to him as fast as possible. I wanted to make sure we had at least one of those phases in here. All right, remember he's untargetable right here. All right, now we're going to put some damage into him as soon as we can. The first one that appears on your screen is the one that you can attack during that quad phase. There's the die. We don't want to take that damage. There's the channel phase, all right? So this build, being a berserker, just takes increased damage, and that shot pretty much blast us. All right, so now we're going to go on and try to get the kill. So I'm going to put the rest of my damage links back in. The good news is if you die during the final phase, you don't have to walk underneath him to start the fight again. What you need to do is just be careful when you're approaching him, because he can shoot the die beam right at you as you're approaching. So make sure you're approaching at an angle as you come back to the fight. You can also strafe around in the channel phase to avoid the damage. But as you can see, I'm not walking directly towards him. All right, so he sucked us in with the meteor phase, which is pretty good for us. Might help if I turn my buffs on. All right, here he is. I'm going to finish him off. That's the Sirus fight in a nutshell. You can always come to my channel. I offer free carries for any Sirus fights. What I like to do for all the viewers is have you try a couple portals. If you can't clean it up, I'll come in and save it to make sure you get your loot. Unfortunately, we didn't get anything pog here. But that's the fight in a nutshell, in a one take. Sorry we died a couple times, but I really wanted to show every mechanic that the fight has to offer. This was done on Awakener 8, which is the hardest setting. He has the most life, the most damage possible, and whenever he's at a lesser level, you'll see right here, it'll be like 7, 6, 5, 4, 3. He has less damage, less health. So thanks for watching. You can always find me at twitch.tv/sniper1232, and let me know if you ever need any help or anything. Thanks for watching.